Hello, my friends, and welcome to Monthlies. This is going from July 23rd to August 22nd. And just quick note, thank you everybody for helping, sharing, subscribing, liking. I appreciate a lot. 10,000 is a really cool thing to be at just in less than 5 months. So, quick announcement, we only have one special this month, which is your expert. So if you want it, check it on my website. Love you. Hi Tauruses, welcome to your monthly reading. So let's see what we have. I actually pull two different decks of oracle cards, so I'm very happy with what I see. With some kind of minor things that I guess you need to fix, we all need to fix, which two kind of like lunar and solar eclipses, with one lunar, one solar. You're going to be affected because you are a fixed sign, but you know, lunar eclipse is in Aquarius. It's going to bring us unbelievable new goodwill to believe in other people, and I can see it here. When we get to this, I think you're going to get very excited. So let's see how basically you're going to start. Check this out. We see this like island, right? And the card is called Solitude. So what do we basically see? The solitary tree on the island, which is kind of surrounded, but look, very glassy sea. What is this evoking you? What kind of feeling do you actually experience when you see that? To me, I'm very relaxed, but I'm also amazed at the strength of this tree, right? The tree, which is in full blossom, stands out like, like in the middle of that relative darkness, and it's illuminated by, look at this beam of light over here that we see. So although an island like this can really be a metaphor for isolation or possibly even desolation, the thriving tree proves that even in the harshest of environments there is life and there is strength. So we can see the trees, as you can see it here. Let me just come closer. You can see camera instead of a tree. There you go. You can see the trees, basically roots over here, right? Like a spiders spreading out along the rocks, right? And they're seeking nourishment from the moist soil. See, the sense of peace and solitude depicted in this image provides really nourishment for the soul. So why did you guys get this image? I think you need to take some time for solitude, preferably in silence. Spend the morning, afternoon, or even the entire day by yourself. Disconnect. No emails, no phone, no distractions. We are like really so edgy with everything that we are pre-programmed, especially when you hear this like click, we have to check this phone, right? So you are basically destroying your vibrations with all these noises and all this bombardment that actually comes upon us. So vibrations of million people and their needs and their worry feels like, holy smoke, so many like sharp edges coming toward us. So it is time to honor ourselves. Pull back from time to time. Nobody's going to die, trust me. So when you have passed through any self-constructed barriers to enjoying that quiet peace of solitude, it will serve you best if you simply observe the thoughts and emotions that pass through you, especially those that cause shortness of breath or a quickening heartbeat. You need to remember that isolation is usually experienced not by choice, but out of fear. So when you decide to spend time with yourself in solitude, you are changing your path. You're choosing that once again you find and connect with who you are. And guess where this is leading us? To music. So what better music can be than just the nature's music? So when you find a spot where you can actually reach the solitude, also kind of like think what the life would be without music. it's not something that humans invented. It has been like really always around, right? It could be any kind of being that you see that is creating their own form of music. Like really, if you connect that way, you actually realize how close we are all with each other. Now, going back to our ancient ancestors, they were paying close attention to sounds, to rhythms and vibrations from the environment they helped them survive. So their music always incorporates those actually sounds. So of course, it has been very compelling for humanity to create music through our own voice and through our own musical instruments. So as we were evolving, kind of like we obviously kind of got to the point that we have different attitudes and different approaches. So what do we see here? Two women with stringed instruments creating kind of harmonious blend, I would say. They're kind of absorbed in their playing and appear to be in trance because they're allowing music to go through them. So you guys kind of did pull yourself inside. You need to kind of like find this is like a death card. You need to end something. You need to end the noise in order for something else to start. And how beautiful the new start is for you. So this is a time for you guys for considerable harmony. Various elements in your life will flow together smoothly, just like in this musical harmony. It will be the interface of those elements that kind of like merge into a cycle of symmetry that will actually result in this harmony that we seek. We all seek, but you're getting it. So now know the sensations, emotions, and thoughts that you actually experience in your body, even when you're in the solitude. Remind how you always felt when you listened to music. It always brought you some release, excitement, connectivity. So whenever you perceive chaos around you, know that it's only a mirror of your inner turmoil. So when you recognize this, take 3 or more breaths to bring forth the memory of those moments when your life was like a symphony. Then every time you exhale, you're releasing the energy of your internal state of harmony into the world, and it will have amazing effects. Whenever I see this card, I always remember my cat. My first cat was called Symphony, and she really loved music. So if the cats can like it, then you can just imagine how connected they are to us. And then I took these cards from the Zen Oracle, and the very first one was abundance. Guess what is abundance? That, guys, will be King of Pentacles. That's you. You are becoming yourself. You're coming into yourself. People are waiting centuries, lifetimes to do that. And then maturity, and then politics. So why don't we start with the bad news? How's that? So what do we see over here in this politics card? I think Aquarians got it, if I remember well. So again, fixed signs are going to have a little bit harder time. So guys, who are you? What does this picture tell you? What do we see? Do you recognize this man? I think all but the most innocent and sincere of us have a kind of politician lurking inside. And politician is the word that we basically hear daily these days. We live in a kind of like big turmoil at present, and we are at the fingertip of a person, and it doesn't feel right. So what is happening? Are we really like that too? Is really mind political? So do we always kind of like try to scheme certain things and manipulate situations so we get what we want? So we have the mind represented here by a snake covered with clouds and speaking with a forked tongue, as you can see, right? Important thing is to realize about this card is that both faces are false. The sweet, innocent, oh trust me face is a mask. It's also this evil, toxic, I'll bite you snake. It's also a mask. Politicians really don't have real faces. Let's remember this. The whole game is a lie. It's a game. They're playing us, and they win. Take a good look at yourself to see if you have been playing this game. What you see might be painful, but not as painful as continuing to play. It doesn't serve anybody's interest in the end, at least of your own. Whatever you might achieve in this way will just turn to dust in your hands. Guys, anybody can be a good pretender, right? A hypocrite. And yeah, this is certainly a good qualification to be a politician. Promise you one thing, deliver another thing. But do you really want to be that person? Do you really want to be that person who lives double lives? Whose priests live double lives? One from the front door, one from the other door or the back door. However, the back door life is their real life, and the front door smiles are just false, right? Faces are looking so innocent, but they're cultivated to basically give us that sense of security that we hope that there is such a nice person, because sometimes we really want to believe that life is good. So if you want the reality of the politician, you'll have to see him from his back door. That person becomes nude. So that way you see the person for who he is. Then you're going to see the true dignity of this person, and you will be able to take all glory away from it, humiliated. So you know what? Avoid the slow suicide. If you recognize that you have these two faces, just measure how much and how far do you think you can get there, because maybe it's just not worth it. Because you guys, we're really destined for something really great in August. So this, I think, can really take you down. The sneaky behavior is something that everybody remembers. So if this is done to you, you have to reconfigure that if you strike back, you just become that ugly face yourself. But I don't think you will. I gave you this long spiel, so just realize that you guys are actually growing. And even if you thought to do this, you guys are going in abundance without any need for that. So we see this guy, I don't know, they call him Zorba the Buddha, drinks wine, dance on the beach, sings in the rain. At the same time, he's kind of like enjoying his like wisdom, right? And the wisdom kind of like of the sage, of course, right? So in one hand, he holds a lotus, right? And showing us that he respects and contains within himself the grace of the feminine. So his exposed hairy chest actually is showing his heart. You know how many tarot cards we have where are crossing their arms in front of the heart, and his kind of like relaxed belly here show us that he's at home with his masculinity as well, but his masculinity is like self-contained. So these four elements of earth, fire, water, and sky all conjunct at the King of Rainbows, who sits at the top of the book of the wisdom of life. If you're a woman, the King of Rainbows, the King of Pentacles, bring the support of your own male energies into your life. So this is basically a union of the soulmate within. For a man, this card represents a time for breaking through the conventional male stereotypes and allowing the fullness of the whole human being to shine forth. So with this abundance card in the East, people have condemned the body, condemned matter, and called matter illusory. Maya didn't really exist, it only appears to exist, right? So denied the world. And you can see this kind of like little speech going back and forth. Yes, yes it is, no it isn't, and how much of that was politics. So many people deny the world, and many people also in the result stayed put poor, sick, or they were starving. So the truth is that half of the world, and this is like to me lovely, that there are actually two moons that we have here. This is the masculine and feminine, guys. Right? Because half of the humanity basically accepted inner world without the outer world. The other half of humanity has been accepting the material world and denying the inner world. So the truth is, both of them are only half. And only with half, none of us is really contented. So you have to be whole, rich in the body, rich in science, rich in meditation, and of course, rich in consciousness. Only a whole person is a full person. So it would be great to meet this guy, right? So maybe on the surface he's a hollow man. But soon we'll realize that we actually really find comfortable in the company of such a person. So let's have contribution to the humanity. And with this lunar eclipse on the 7th, that is actually bringing humanity to come to the surface, this is going to be extremely important. So you guys, you're like naturally posed to actually have this maturity. This figure basically here stands alone. She's silent, but she's alert. I love the flowers over here. I love this, like everything that earth can actually offer over here. Like, you know, they are almost like flowering of the wholeness, and it's kind of like possibility of unlimited movement. When we get this card, we need to know that this moment carries a gift for hard work well done. Congratulations, Tauruses. Your base is solid now, and success and good fortune are yours, for they are the outcome of what has already been experienced within. So now you're gluing this entire inner and outer world. You know which part is no-go, which part is false, which part is a fake face. And you also know that the snake can create a wedge. So this kind of solitude is always going to be something you will go to create something, to understand something, to disconnect from something that you are not sure about. And music is going to be something for you to create life, to create this connectivity. You guys really have it all. You're kind of shedding the last pieces of things that we might have, like, I mean, being fallible humans. So, okay, I have shuffled these cards already for you. Holy smoke. Woo! You have 10 of Pentacles. So there we again going, like, I mean, this was a King of Pentacles, and this was like Ace of Pentacles. And Pentacles is your suit. So it looks from 1 to King, like the entire suit right in front of us. So here is a 10, kind of like, this is also talking about family, inheritance, love, lineage, siblings, parents, grandparents, pets, everything. You want everything, you'll get everything. Okay, true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. Oh, any Taurus wants to get married, just let me know. This is the romance of a lifetime. Money and love. Jeez. Okay, this is almost like a fairy tale. Well, let's see. Finances, career. Very soon. Reconciliation. Oh, that sucks for me. Codependency. Let your friends help you. Healing family issues. Love yourself first. It is safe for you to love. Past life relationship. And a new love. Yay! And the new love is the true love. So guys, I don't know if you like Doreen Virtue's cards. I always had love-hate relationship with them, but I think they kind of work. I kind of generally don't fully agree with what is written on them. So let me know if you want me to continue with these cards or not, or just have them like on the side, or if you're able to ignore them. So if you really dislike them. So let's see what happened here. Let's see these like minute details of your month here, guys. Very interesting. 1, 2, 3 major arcanas and an ace, so 3.5. So what happened here in the past? Codependency, secrets. You kind of try to figure out maybe addiction to something or someone, maybe how to kind of like deal with your emotional attachment to someone, what really love is, because the second card you had over here behind hiding was codependency, interestingly enough. So codependency is like being attracted to the thing that is really not wishing you well. When somebody treats you poorly, and you still beg them to be with you, that's codependency. I'm not saying kind of like grow a pair. All I'm saying is like you have to understand this is not good for you, right? We do have to understand that like you have to go in this abundance. And yeah, sometimes some people that we really want are not really the people who will give us that. So it's kind of important for us to understand. And the world reversed is actually saying to me, this is not a good place to be. This is also a part of codependency. Like you keep coming back. You know what they call it? Sucker for punishment. Well, that kind of like speaks that story. They chase you and you come back and you want more. They chase you, come back, and you want more. And they tell you stories, beautiful stories. They love you. They want you. Oh my gosh, you're the best. I just want to marry you. And we're going to have such a fabulous life together, just like you and I. And then they leave and they never fulfill what they say. This is like your used car salesman's spiel, right? Just say anything to get this moment pass. So what happened? You were considering reconciliation with someone, and maybe you or maybe somebody else juggled like two people, and maybe kind of like it was a hard thing to do, and it created you lots of anxiety, wonder if you should go, you shouldn't go. When you have codependency, it's kind of like really hard to cut that cord. You have been really emotionally played. If you're a guy, you've seen tears. If you're a woman, maybe even the things that they did blamed on you. You were like just so confused because look, it's just like no way out. It's like knives are coming from everywhere. You feel like cornered everywhere. That's kind of like that I cannot breathe feeling. And here, you're not a couple anymore, I think, with this person. You are considering, but I don't think you'll go for it, because I think you're going back to what is important, finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now, but you really don't want somebody who possibly have every single addiction in the book, and one of his addiction is to tell lies. So you have been on the receiving end, and maybe you feel this kind of negative emotional involvement is basically taking you away from what you should really take care of, like you're being the king of the abundance, right? And maturity. And there you go. Taurus is deciding to take a turn. Taurus is deciding to leave this person behind, because this person is not bringing fulfillment of the Lovers. Lovers is the unity. Like two of us can do so much more than each of us separately. Not in this position. And the realization of this is just like dawning on you. Very soon, clearly decide what you want, and it could be that's going to be the final okay corral with this person. Final discussion, final kind of like thing. This is lots of misunderstanding. I don't know how it's going to finish, but be careful about the manipulation again. Be careful that maybe this person is really with somebody else. And you might get even a little depressed. That could be that solitude time, right? So this is what happens. This King of Wands is very much like this, basically Seven of Swords. Kind of like somebody only think he's so charming. And this is kind of like innocent, but taking away from you. And this is kind of depression, which kind of like would be really good to resolve with a little bit of solitude, because you really cannot be depressed in the nature. You just like absorb this water, absorb this tree, just like, admire every little detail, and depression goes. You are also reassessing your life and realizing that you're actually carrying a pretty heavy burden, and you're reaching out to your friends, asking them for support, and you'll decide to drop things. So 10 things, try to have less. There you go. Showed up. Maybe this is also a card that says, figure out who your real friends are. Figure out who you really want in your close circle. Because whether it's you, and you always have to have this face to your friends, or your friends sometimes rear their ugly face, you have to figure out if you can accept it, because we do know this is like not existing either or. It is like only one person, and we all are a combination of the two. So now you're getting to this point of closure, of understanding, of explanation, aha moment, and you feel like you won the game. When you feel this way after having a codependency card, I can only say congratulations, Taurus. This is a biggie. You're cutting the cord. Even though it might be hard, you'll actually have to realize that this pain that you had was much deeper than what it appeared. And that's why you keep coming back to it, because you actually want to clean that for good. And it says healing family issues. Sometimes issues go all the way back when you were a little kid, when you were innocent, when you kind of like really dream about big dreams. This is saying that you're sticking yourself in a position that is like actually unnecessary suffering. So what is worse than being with someone who didn't treat you well 5 years, or 2 years, or 1 year? Well, 1 year and 1 day, 2 years and 1 day, 5 years and 1 day. The sooner you cut the cord, the sooner you're going to be free to explore your own life. So this means you're somehow stuck. You maybe don't want to make this step, but you'll be waking up. 2 of Wands is telling me that there are going to be partial success. There will be some idea of a choice. You will start to realize that, yeah, I'm stuck. So codependency is that stuck, but here you will start integrating something new, something old. Let's go from the solitude to harmony. Let's kind of enjoy that life. Let's see what happened a long time ago that is still holding you back. That is you guys as well. The Empress is ruled by Venus, and she's like the mother, the creator, nurturer. Under basically her, everything basically prosper. We are talking here about an ideal woman, like the woman that basically every woman wants to be, and also that every guy wants, right? So when it's basically in reverse situation, it tells me that somebody's clinging over here. So I hope it is not you. I hope that you can actually start transitioning into this, because the Death card is actually talking and asking for transition. So how do you guys feel? You're debating between rules for yourself and the rules that have been given to you. You were saddled by rules at work, rules at home, rules when you have dinner with your family, rules when you go to your church, rules when you go to the store, rules on the road. Some of you are so fed up with this that you're simply going to rebel. And you might on the outside appear as if you're following those rules, but you're going to develop your own set of rules. So this is you guys, by the way. This is also Taurus. And you might feel a little lonely at first. That's kind of like your solitude moment. But solitude moment is to understand how to oh my god, this is you again. So that will be your Zorba the Greek king. again, we are talking about this abundance. We are talking about this union of things. This is you guys so coming to yourself. So this was here. So where was our 7? Over here. Ask your friends to help you. Where was our solitude? Our solitude is also here. Where is your music? Your Empress is your music, but so is like this Ace of Cups. Empress is also maturity as well. So let's move on. This is like your environment, things that will be happening and influencing you in this month. It says it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. And then you have the 8 of Wands, kind of like reversed. So 8 of Wands is generally a good card in terms of communication. Wands are fast, right? And some people call them love arrows. So it could be expression of love, right? But now we have them kind of like reverse. So they're kind of falling down and kind of like not reaching that impact, right? So it could be some kind of stagnation. You kind of like have to get there, but you kind of like will have moments for kind of move forward, and then you'll have moments when you say, okay, I'm a little bit depressed, as you have here, because you're going to remember everything. But remember, sadness can be only felt in the past. So if you think of the past, that's where you feel sadness. You cannot feel sadness about the future. You can feel fear about the future. But if you're here, like this cute buddy said, like this King of Pentacles with this like bull over here says, you cannot feel either of the two. Oh, wow. 5 of Cups. Somebody is going to be depressed. You know what? Maybe if that's what it takes, there is a breakup. So you're breaking it up, and you're wondering what it meant. It's going to be few back and forth, I think, people. Torn people. This is definitely a breakup. Something, it's just like really clear to you that you cannot do it, right? Because look, the butterflies are supposed to be the freedom, but you kind of like really didn't feel yourself in this relationship. And this is for you, this like newfound knowledge of who you are and where you should be going and why you should be going there. And this is like you smell the roses. You now know how it looks on the outside. You're like, get out of the jail card. So you kind of like don't really want to go, like healing codependency is a biggie. I think it's a generational problem, right? And that's kind of like this maturity thing over here. So hopes and fears. You kind of like do know that this person that you met was your karmic connection. So this whole back and forth going, wondering if it was the right thing to leave, or will it be right time to come back, is going to be something that you're going to weigh, especially around the solar eclipse. Because, well, both. Lunar eclipse is making us all a better person. Lunar eclipse is literally going to kill the snake. And the solar eclipse is going to give us, I don't know, it's going to be interesting. It might divide us. It might divide us, but it might divide the bad from good, which is good. So you see, your kind of like fear is that you made a wrong decision, but your hope is that you're going to heal and move forward. So what's a possible outcome for you by the end of the month? I guess if the healing takes place, if you kind of like come to your senses and you realize, right, this is like, you have to, that you're becoming mature, you're making decisions, and sometimes making decisions is tough. Sometimes you have to make decisions that hurt. We are not a child that we want to avoid pain at any given point. The biggest pain in life is usually the biggest joy. Just ask any woman who had a child. So don't avoid it, because it can bring you something beautiful. Because this is your trajectory. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings, and then you have Ace of Cups. It's a wonderful potential, guys. Now, are you going to take it? It's a potential. It's like having the box of matches on the table. Are you going to flick it and create a fire? Oh my gosh, yes you will. This is the strength. And I think this tree over here is the strength. Imagine there's nothing, it's naked. And yet this tree didn't just like manage to survive and put its roots all over it. It thrives. Yes. This new relationship is your karmic relationship. There is like Wheel of Fortune, the karmic card. You guys are winning the game of life. This is like absolutely beautiful. So next I actually have Gypsy and Lenormand, but I am going to clean the table so that way you don't have to wait for 5 minutes for me to kind of like do all of that, and I'll be back with you in just a second. Alright guys, so this is your Lenormand spread for August. So for those of you who are new, first of all, thank you for viewing. Second of all, please subscribe. So let me explain this. First of all, this is different divination record and method, pardon me. Tarot is very spiritual. Tarot can give you layers. Tarot can teach you how to fish, not to give you the fish. This one gives you the fish. This one is like very pragmatic, down to earth. I am looking literally your life. This is like a record of your August. And Gypsy, that we are going to do last, is very emotional. It kind of tells you what kind of emotions fly around. So in this particular deck we have two significators, the gentleman and the lady. Forget the gender, either of them can be you. So look at that. Remember this new love? Is this like narrow? Okay, because I'm already having effect of Mercury retrograde, believe it or not, all day long. So you guys, something happened, or you're going to meet somebody amazing, somebody who you will want. Look, you have a child and a ring and a stork and a rider. It's going to be the karmic relationship, guys. It's going to evolve with a really huge speed, and this can be like really even wedding bells in the near future. It was a lots of heartache, especially financial issues. Something has been cut off, but you guys getting healthy. The tree and the heart means health. And the key is basically 6, 4, 5. Key is like this house. So the crossroads. You guys are unlocking something. You're unlocking like possibly your partner is going to be the key. So this is kind of like that karmic thing. There is like that shedding this politics. There is like that harmony, the music that I hear over here. Maybe you met this person recently. Maybe you met him at work. Maybe you met him at some kind of like public event or on even possibly wedding. But something happened either to you or to him, because two of you are meeting in this mountain over here. Two of you are also meeting in the fox. Fox being either somebody sneaky, maybe somebody put a wedge between the two of you. Maybe you thought this is not it, or you were not ready. Maybe somebody was holding the reputation, but attraction was there. That's for sure. And you thought this person was, you know, so attractive. You were like really enamored with this. So now, some of you guys have been dealing with some health issues over here, and I think you're resolving them. There are going to be some smaller problems over here, but that's possibly the person who might even help you with this, because it could be somebody from long distance. This could be somebody who you met, I don't know, 9 months ago or 10 months ago, and it's actually just coming to the surface right now, because both of you have new beginning, and he literally wants something new. For some of you guys, it's going to be a job promotion, and that's the finances that we saw over there. Really big one too, especially for those of you who are like basically working in some electronic IT field, or selling electronics, or creating apps, dealing with the internet in some kind of form. And something from the past that maybe seemed to be not working, or maybe it was put on the back shelf, is going to come to the front shelf. Some of you might be moving in with somebody in a couple of months. If those of you are already in couples, there is like still some kind of like nagging issues that you'll have with this partner. Well, gee, like it's really small, it's mice. But mice here meets the ship. So vermin meets the ship. So yeah, you kind of have to figure out this diplomacy, right? And this is not diplomacy. This can only sink you in a relationship. Just keep in mind, guys, you are getting like your Taroscope is like so good. Like I cannot invent this if I wanted to, like with over like 800,000 combination. Until the rest of my life I can like put all these combinations on the table. You guys have a really, really good streak over here, but you also need to win your own destiny over here. Yes, you're still sad over things that happened to you. You kind of like felt that was that backstabbing, there was this kind of communication and some kind of secrets. I see it all here. I see that something died. And 1, 2, 3, 4, for about maybe more. The mountain can extend this time more. But other than this kind of karma that has to be addressed, that's your karmic soulmate, you guys have like really, really amazing things. So something has to end again, just like in your own reading over there. Very important. You have to crack the whip yourself to it. You have to address your finances. You have to see something from the past that worked, that's going to work out. Okay, so the next, I'm going to do the gypsy spread. I'm going to do the same trick. You're going to think I did all of that in 1 second, and you're not going to know that 5 minutes passed by. So see you in a second. I told you it's going to be only a second, right? Okay, guys, gypsy. Gypsy has more significators because life has lots of people around us. We sometimes don't know. That's why we have to play these politics, because we don't know who these people are and how to behave. So I'm going to give you a whole bunch of significators and basically intricacies going on. We might build on things that we have already kind of learned in tarot and in Lenormand, and we are going to kind of like look here deeper. By the way, this reading you will see nowhere on the internet, nowhere on YouTube. This is like so tough, and I do that for my fly on the wall readings. I kind of check it for my clients. So let me show you guys what we have. We have, by the way, I'm looking actually here things, I'm interpreting things, rather to say, only in the upright situation, but I put them the way they were shuffled because I kind of like want to get a little bit more perspective. Because when they go up and down, it's like double the meaning, and it's kind of like really important for me to do it this way, and it's all encompassed. So let's see. You'll have the lover. Lover generally represents a younger guy or a single guy, but it can also represent single ladies. Then you have a sweetheart, which can represent a seeker, any querent, or a single lady. We have the Lord, that represents either a professional or represents, I don't know if you can see it, represents somebody who could be married, right? Then we have the wife, of course, who can be the wife, who can be a person with children, or who can be any other person in your life. So any of these kind of people can be another person in your life. Now there are other people that I take in account here, like the enemy. Enemy can be even us. We can be our own worst enemy, right? Or enemy can be a rival, right? Then we have foe. So enemy could be male rival, female rival, or kind of like another woman. And also we have a young lady. Young lady can be a daughter. A young lady can be a sugar girl, sugar lady, or it can be seductress. So let's see what we see over here. So I see that some of you may be interested in a guy who may not be available. We have seen it in tarot, right? Somebody not only that is not available, but or they deal with a guy who is cheating. We have the pleasure seekers and we have the foe over here. and things are not consistent with this person. It's on and off kind of a thing. With this person, we have the priest over here as well, but it's with the pleasure seekers. Priest is not here necessarily a person who is going to wed you. Priest is like a lawyer person, somebody harsh. Somebody kind of like who will try to wrap the things around to kind of like make you believe into that. So there are lies over here with this person. So that is the one storyline. You, however, somehow are leaving this in the past. You still have a strong desire for this person. That was the codependence. You have this room, and the room suggests intimacy. Here is this child, something that has been going on, and you kind of don't want it anymore. You try to renegotiate a deal with this person, but you got only lies. Now, the second storyline is that there is somebody else who might be showing up in your life. But that somebody else might have some secrets. You might actually even have some good dating times with this person. But this person needs to put an end with somebody. You see, it's kind of like a mess. This person, you see here, I have a death, and here I have a wedding. So end of the marriage, and the wife is here. So this person, maybe you're dating somebody who is just recently single. Maybe somebody who just separated. Just make sure they are separated, because that's not a good situation to be in. Maybe you are going to be considered that enemy. Maybe this is the same person that we see that other side. So be careful. Watch for the red flags, because I do see this person is going to have some kind of misfortune in dealing with this primary relationship. And because this person has the priest and she has the wedding right next to it, I think some of you, or you'll be meeting somebody whose marriages or relationship is collapsing, and or maybe they feel trapped in it, and they're like literally sick of everything. That was that sadness that we saw right there, and we see it sadness, sorrow here. It's like sadness abounds. But there is kind of thinking really how to get out of it. And actually these thoughts are these kind of thoughts. How to manipulate it. How to get the best out of it. I think some of you might go into therapy. Some of you might speak to the friends and just have that kind of like shoulder for crying. Other of you are simply going to jump and say, that's it, I'm enough. I'm getting out of this prison. I am declaring my own fortune, because check this out, this is kind of cool. It goes from misfortune to fortune, and you're getting this kind of like new ability into this. But be very careful not to be fake, because there is a new journey in front of you. You see, there is again this reunion that we saw there, but it's not going to happen. There were too many secrets over there for that to happen. What else do I see? The love is here, but love is, it's kind of strange, because this person here wants to bring this love and loyalty. You see, there is like still this person here, there is like one significator that kind of is ready to move forward. And I think that's the person who is waiting for the surprise and the lightness and the new journey and love. So that new love is definitely on the horizon. It is in the cards. So you guys definitely should, was it arraignment? Definitely. You definitely should explore this. Because as long as you're sad and you try to renegotiate with this person, because here is a reunion, but it's full of secrets. It just like doesn't feel right. And I don't think you guys will consider it, just like we saw it in tarot cards. It's just not working out. Like, I mean, for you ladies in relationships, like you've been through too much. Like you maybe had this kind of like break with this person last month, and simply just like felt like tons of bricks on your back, and you're really sad about that. But you're also so smart that you're seeing the silver lining, and you're seeing that this gives you opportunity to grow into who you are. Right now you're still dealing with fallout. You still kind of like are blaming yourself. If I was prettier, if I was this, if I was this, as if this matters. You know, if the guy goes for a secretary who brings him a coffee and he blames that you had curlers in your hair, you know, this guy as well can just like find the first door and just make sure the door doesn't hit him on his way out. Or vice versa. If the woman doesn't like you because you are not as rich as somebody else, wish them well. So guys, this brings us to basically the culmination of your reading, because you are so coming to yourself. You're going to have situations that are going to require solitude. You are going to actually end up with this music in the end, because look at it here. You have this harmony and lightness and a surprise, something really good happening. So you see, this is that abundance that I seen over here. And maturity is making tough decisions. Maturity to me is making decisions, making right decisions when nobody's watching, right? So let me see, what is this card saying? You got storm fields. Okay, it says, this too shall pass. An uncomfortable chaos is surrounding you. Things that you have left unattended may be the cause of some conflict. Pent-up energy needs release. Just as a storm in nature must break, for these events occur when the electricity between opposing forces stir things up and creates temporary disorder. Not all storms are destructive. Rather, they serve nature by bringing rain to the ground and wind to the trees, enabling seeds to widely be distributed and have continuous growth. Just remember that whatever is being stirred up inside you or between you and another will benefit you later. The sun will shine again and new growth will be observed. Don't be afraid to shake things up a little. Guys, have a wonderful month. If you want a private reading, contact me via my website. I have now a little bit longer waiting time, but I'm giving you ability to really kind of get yourself ahead of the line, so check it out. And yeah, please subscribe, like, share, and come to the Facebook, and let's go from there. Love you all. Bye.